Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and get started. And for everyone that's new on board, my name is Kerry Miller, and it's a pleasure to get to come to you each and every Wednesday night. I've been with App Wizard for just over a year now. Came on board as a reseller last April, and hadn't looked back since. Love every single minute of it. I've been in some type of internet business, gosh, since 96, 97, 98, somewhere around there. I can't remember now, but for a while. Started off building websites, and that's when they didn't have these little WYSIWYG programs, and you had to build it all with code, and AOL was getting hot, and I wished I realized how everything was going to go. And but I love internet marketing. I love video marketing. Just launched a new video company, KMO Video Production, and getting ready to put everything under one umbrella. It's KMO Marketing and Consulting, and I'm a reseller just like you guys. I go out and I sell apps. Matter of fact, I spent 5 hours with a client yesterday training their staff on how to build a business with their web apps. I love to train. That's why I come here every single Wednesday night. You guys have become my family. You're so faithful to come each and every week, and I've gotten to know so many of you. The great thing is the company's growing really rapid right now, and the Wednesday nights are really growing, and we got a lot of new people, but I will get to know you, and you'll see a little chat box there, excuse me, that you're welcome to speak to me in, and if you would kind of hold your questions to the end, it's a little easier that way. We asked last week. Last week we were filled to capacity, and I missed a ton of questions. And questions I like to get answered so that you do not have to worry about it, and you get your answers right here on the spot. So we'll make sure that all your questions get answered, but if they go by so fast, I really miss them. I've got someone on with me tonight that can help me answer them. If you drop them in there before the end of the presentation. But if you do that, if you do it early, it's probably not going to get answered, because I have people come back at the end of the webinars and say, hey man, I asked you this 3 times. Well, when there's this many people on here and they fly by and I can't see them, then I have to dig back through 200 questions, and it's just kind of difficult. So if you would hold them to the end, and then we'll get to them and get your questions answered. But my name is Kerry Miller, and I'm coming to you live from our Instant App Wizard studios in Northeast Texas, just outside of Dallas, Texas. I want to invite you, if you will, real quick, to join our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Instant App Wizard, and all of the trainings are uploaded there, and so by the time I get everything rendered and ready for the web and everything, they go there first, and then I put them in the control panel. So if you've joined our YouTube channel, you'll see it immediately with an email. Go right in there. And also like us on our Facebook page. I think we've got right at 1,000 people that's liked our Facebook page. And hey, Michael, I did that just for you, buddy. Just for you. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but I slept on that last week after you had posted that 3 or 4 times, and I did that just for you. I'm not kidding you. It was in my mind. So, but like us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Instant App Wizard. If you'd like to get a text reminder about the training, if you would, text app call to 904-548-3411. 904-548-3411, text app call, and we send out a little reminder to everyone about the call. Okay, real quick, and this is the only thing I'm going to show you in the control panel tonight. Let me flip screens here real quick, and it's just exactly what Michael and I were talking about. You know, a lot of the decisions that we make comes through you guys. And we took off the delete button here, and Michael R., I don't say you guys' last names, Michael R., had made a suggestion last week, said, man, could you, if you don't do anything, would you take the delete button off of the app? And after the conversation last week, and he posted that 2 or 3 times, and I would see it go by and see it go by and see it go by, and after I got off the call, I laid in bed all night long thinking about that dang delete button. And I was thinking to myself, okay, give me the pros and the cons, and there wasn't many pros, and there was a whole bunch of cons. And I got a hold of Mark, our programmer, the very next morning and said, hey, remove that delete button. Because I started thinking, I'm bringing on sales reps, and what if I, and I have a tendency to do this sometimes, I can be, I won't say overbearing, but I know what I want. And if somebody's lazy and I don't like it, I'm allowed to say that. And then I take them off, and then they go in and they delete all my stinking apps that they went out and sold, and now I don't know what I've got and what I don't have. So, Michael, I want to thank you very much for that suggestion. It happened immediately, and that's what we're here for. So that's the only thing that I'm going to talk about in the control panel. Other than this, over the next 2 weeks, you're going to start seeing changes in the control panel. We're fixing to go in and we're going to kind of reconfigure some things. We're not going to be adding really anything new with the exception of a facelift to the control panel. We're going to consolidate it. We're going to make it where it's a little more user-friendly. As you know, we're constantly putting new programs in, and we're going to make some adjustments and move some things around and clean it up, kind of like this here. This, to me, opening this up right here, and our programmer designed that and put that together and said, hey, what do you think? I thought it was great. Why? Because it's very easy to see. And for an old fellow like me that wears glasses, man, I have to have it as big as possible. I mean, I've got a 27-inch screen sitting on my production desk here that I use just so I can do these webinars. So, but I loved it. So we're getting ready to do some stuff in here, and it's going to look really good. And we're going to be working on that over the next couple of weeks, and just clean some stuff up. So you're going to start seeing some changes. Don't freak out. It's not any changes that are going to make any change to your apps or anything like that. It's only going to be to the control panel. So I'll just give you a heads up on that now. And we're going to start that on Monday. Let's go back to the presentation real quick because I want to get into that. I'm just going to briefly go over some notes. I had a lot of people call me last week after I did the presentation. I just want to briefly go over what we talked about. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. Really probably not going to ask any questions on it. You delete apps from your control panel. Just your sales reps can't delete apps. You can delete apps from inside your control panel. You control the deletion of the apps, not your sales reps. Whoops. Let me turn off this or we will get bombarded with emails. So, building your business with sales reps, and this is part 2. And we're going to go in tonight. We're going to talk about advertising for sales reps. I'm going to give you some tips on some things that I've done that has been extremely successful for me. But let's just go over real quick what we talked about last week. What do you need to get started? You've got to put a system in place to manage your reps. You've got to have an advertising budget. You need to sit down and put together a full business plan or a model with compensation, what areas you're going to work, a full strategy of what you're going to do. You need to take a look at some accounting software. I showed you some accounting software last week called FreshBooks. It's a very simple program. Some of you may already have an accounting software, but if you don't, that's good. You're going to have to make sure that you've got it ready to go for your sales reps to get some business cards and whatever office supplies you're going to need. What are some of the pros and cons? The pros is you're going to be able to expand your business to different locations. You're going to be able to increase your income, which is what we're all here for. And you're going to have greater marketing depth with the branded web apps. And I was talking about that kind of in the pre-show if you weren't here, how important those branded apps are. The cons, it's going to take more time. Time time sometimes you just don't think you have enough of. But when you bring on sales reps, you got to figure you're going to spend time on the day with them in the mornings on the phone, making sure everything's lined out. You're going to spend time in the evenings with them, and you're also going to have to go in and kind of look at the apps that they're building and seeing what they're doing. You're going to have bookkeeping, cash flow. Let me just cover that real quick. That's one of the biggest questions I had after last week's webinar training. When I mentioned cash flow, everybody said, well, what do you mean cash flow? Well, you need all the monies to flow through you. Even if you set up an individual PayPal account for that person to go out so they can scan their card or whatever processor you use. You set up an individual account, you get them a little square, that goes on top of your phone and plugs in, and they can actually run the credit cards and everything. But it goes into your account. I bet I had 25 people say, well, I'll just have them collect the money and they can pay me. Huge mistake. Huge, huge mistake. Let me say this without sounding condescending or arrogant or mean. Never trust anyone else, no matter who it is, with your money. Okay? And so you manage your cash flow, you manage your money, you take care of your business. We talked about creating your own competition. Make sure you get with your attorney. Make sure that it is a legal non-compete. Non-competes are very hard to, what's the word I'm trying to say? Non-competes are hard to fight, okay? Enforce. There you go. Thank you. Non-competes are hard to enforce. I've had non-competes with in a couple of my businesses and took them to court, and it didn't do me absolutely any good. So make sure you get with your, and non-competes in some states don't even fly, okay? You can do them in Texas, but depending on what it is and how it goes, and irregardless of what attorney draws it up, they're hard to enforce legally. Marketing in the niche, you really need to start looking at that. You need to start deciding which direction your company is going to go when it comes with sales reps, who to market to. Service companies are great. HomeAdvisor.com, you can go to HomeAdvisor. It used to be called something else. It's HomeAdvisor.com now, but go to HomeAdvisor.com. There's a ton of service companies up there. Matter of fact, there's all the categories. That's just a partial thing. That's just a screenshot of HomeAdvisor.com. It used to be called Service Magic. Yeah, thank you, Spence. And why service companies? The owners are easy to get a hold of. They work with big ticket items. For example, I owned a roofing company. I've actually got out of the roofing business so that I could expand my marketing business, and my sons are still roofers. But they're easy to get a hold of. They work with big ticket items. Our average item was about $10,000. All your service companies are referral and lead driven, and their reputation is usually weak. So that gives you an opportunity to work with the reputation management program. So let's talk about hiring sales reps. Ads are extremely important, okay? And how you do this is extremely important. And the reason I say that is because I have a lot of people call me and say, man, I put an ad out there and I'm not getting one single person. And then when they read me the ad, I understand why. In a large ad like you're going to put on Monster.com or Job.com or Facebook or Craigslist, any place you're going to put some type of display ad, okay, a large ad, you really need to be careful what you say and how you say it. First off, who are you? You need to make yourself look like a Fortune 500 company. And you say, well, Kerry, I'm really not a Fortune 500 company. Well, really you are. You're in the largest industry, the fastest growing industry in the world, okay, the mobile app industry. By far the fastest growing part of the internet world today, all right? So you need to let people know who you are, and you need to be very specific, and you need to spell it out where it looks very professional. First off, nobody wants to come to work for some company that's not professional. Now, my office is in my home, okay? And I don't mind bringing people into my home. Now, a lot of times if I go to Dallas or something like that, I'll meet at a Starbucks or something like that, or meet for lunch or something, and do my second or third interview with that person. But if you've got a place in your home, I've got a formal living room, and a lot of times we just meet in the formal living room, and we sit down, and it's comfortable, and it's nobody ever sits in the chairs in there unless I invite somebody in. So it's always clean, it's always nice. My wife keeps everything just perfect, and so don't be afraid if you have a place that you can meet in your home. If that's where your office is, that's where you need to meet. If not, find a nice Starbucks or a nice restaurant or a Chili's or something that you can meet at, some place that you can meet. Or you can even go rent offices for like an hour or 2 hours a week. I know all over Dallas, man, you can go get a decked out office for about $100 for 2 or 3 days. So look for that kind of thing, and they're all furnished and everything. So let's take a look at this. Who are you? We are a leader in mobile application development and are looking for a few sales representatives to help promote and sell our mobile marketing products. Now, I want you to notice something there. I didn't say mobile apps, okay? I said mobile marketing products. Why did I say that? Because we have the marketing platform. We have the reputation management platform. You want to make sure you initiate your Facebook fan page operation, your Twitter operation, and all those things, all your social media, and we're going to talk about that in just a moment. But you are a total mobile marketing guru, okay? And that's what you want your people that you hire to go out and sell to. You don't want them to just go out and sell mobile apps, or you're not going to make any money. And we're going to talk about that. This is an amazing opportunity to work with a company that has a valuable product and a comfortable work environment with a strong potential to excel and grow with an expanding market. Okay? There's nothing I said there that's not true. It doesn't matter if you just started today or you've been with us for a year. Okay? There's nothing in there that I said, and you're welcome to use this print. Take it right off of the webinar after I upload it. Matter of fact, I tell you what I'll do. I'll put it in a PDF form, and I'll shoot a link out to you guys. So you're telling them who you are. You're a professional company looking for professional sales reps. If you don't present yourself in that way, this is what happens. You wind up getting some guy that's just a jerk, that's just wanting to, take your money, take your clients' money. You're looking for the consummate professional. And if you present yourself as a professional and your company as a professional company, then you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Okay? Extremely, extremely important. No problem, Teresa. It's good to have you with us this evening. Okay. A brief of their responsibilities. You will be responsible for selling mobile app products, giving demonstrations, presentations, networking, cold calling, and fulfillment of online support and other promotional support services with the product. You need to lay that out, and you need to make sure they understand what their responsibilities are, okay? And because that's extremely, extremely important. Responsibilities are very powerful, and they have to know what their responsibilities are and why they've got responsibilities. Sorry about that, I got lost on my screen here. Let me go back. I hit a button here, and it kind of just shifted me about 15 pages here. Let me go back. Okay, you need to tell them what they're responsible for and be very specific. Okay, you will be responsible for selling mobile app products. There is no question of that. Giving demonstrations, there's no question of that. Presentations, networking, cold calling. Make sure you put that cold calling in there, because this is what people are going to tell you. I don't cold call. Then don't hire them. You don't want somebody that's going to sit at their house and do absolutely nothing. You want somebody that's aggressive, that wants to go out and make a ton of money and help you make a ton of money. So if they're not willing to go out and knock on doors and talk to people, they ain't worth a dime. They're not a salesman, okay? They're not worth a flip, and you don't need them. And I don't mean to sound ugly with that, but I have been in the sales business just about all my life. I've hired hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of salesmen. If a salesman walks into one of my appointments on time at 8 o'clock, I put a big 0 at the top of his application, and I don't hire him. And the reason I don't hire him is if he's not going to get there 15 minutes early, then he's not ready to do his job. Okay? Cool, Kiro. Kiro's in China. Awesome, dude. So make sure that they understand, hey, on time is 15 minutes early. On time is on time. Don't ever be late. You walk in my office 1 minute late for an interview, you won't even get to talk to me. My secretary turns you right back out the door. And it doesn't bother me a bit, because if they're going to be late coming to see me for an interview, they're going to be late seeing your customers. And if they're late seeing your customers, you're not going to have a customer very long, because they're not going to take care of them. Okay? Who are you? Okay? You will be responsible for selling mobile app products, giving demonstrations, presentations. Okay, I went the wrong way. Qualities that we are looking for. Now, you don't necessarily have to look for college grads. I just wanted to put everything on here so it would give you an idea. Okay? College graduate with a business degree or related field experience. Strong desire for advancement and professional growth. To me, that's the most important thing you can put on there. Why? Because you're telling them if they come in and do a good job. See, you don't want to just build sales reps. You want to build a sales organization. You want to work yourself out of that job, and you want to be able to hire a good sales manager that can actually come in and manage that for you. Why? So you can expand your business, so you can spread your wings and do some other things. Okay? Account management with ability to follow up and close sales. Independent and self-motivated. Let me just say again, if you have to motivate somebody to go to work, do not hire them. Don't. You're wasting your time. You're going to wake up every morning with a migraine, and you're going to need to take 2 a leave every single day because you don't know if they're doing what they're supposed to do. Okay? Strong desire for advancement and professional growth. Have experience in sales and driven to consistently sell. Experience with technology and smartphone-related materials. Exceptional phone and communication skills. Now, some of you on here may have a flip phone, and I hope not, if you're out trying to show these apps. But if your salespeople walk in and they don't even have a cell phone, they're probably not going to be your best candidate. Just plain and simple. You have to have somebody that can go out there and show your product and present your product and do all that kind of stuff. So they have to understand what a smartphone is, okay? Exceptional phone and communication skills. They have to be able to talk on the phone. I do a phone interview with all my people, and the reason I do that, I want to see if they can talk on a phone. I want to see how they respond, and I want to see how they take the conversation. So my first interview with anybody is a phone interview. All right? They have to have some computer skills. Why do they have to have computer skills? Why would you want somebody with computer skills? Anybody. This is an open question that you can actually type in the question box. Why would you want somebody with computer skills? Graphics, that's one reason. To build apps, absolutely. You want them to build the apps. You do not want to have to sit there and build their apps for them. That's why we set up the package the way we did, so that they can actually build apps, okay? And for Michael R., they can't delete your apps now, but by golly, they can sure sit there and build them. Now, you're going to have to help them. You're going to have to train them. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute, too. Ability to generate leads and organize a network of customers. Driven for success, okay? If someone, and trust me, you guys are going to have a different mindset than I am. I'm 53 years old, and like I say, I've done thousands of interviews. And If they're not driven for success, I can see it when they walk in the door. I want somebody that's got swagger. I want somebody that comes in and they look sharp. Their pants are pressed, you know, and everything looks good. So if they walk in and they're not driven for success, you notice it right off the bat. Now let me tell you, I don't go out and sell in a suit. I don't. I wear a polo and some kind of khaki pants or black pants or something like that, and dress shoes. Okay, I don't wear a shirt and a tie. I mean, I don't wear a tie. I'm not a big tie guy, even in my personal life. I don't wear a tie. So, and jackets make me hot because I'm a hot person. So, account management with the ability to follow up and close a sale, independent and self-motivated. How many times have I said self-motivated? Many, many, many. Responsibilities include, and I put this up at the top, okay? This is the Webster Dictionary definition. Responsibilities are the state or fact of being responsible, answerable, or accountable for something within one's power, control, or management. There's a difference in responsibility and duties, and we're going to cover both. But I wanted you to understand the difference in responsibilities and duties. The state or fact of being responsible. A lot of people are not responsible, very irresponsible. They can't manage their money, so if they can't manage their money, you don't want them to manage your money. They can't manage their time if they don't, so you don't want them to manage your time. They're not accountable for anything, okay? So you want to make sure that they're responsible because it's your business. New business development driven to new target markets. They're responsible for promotion and sale of the mobile app products. Networking, cold callings, prospecting, new business through research, scheduling, and executing app demonstrations. All right? They have to be responsible for that. And if they're not responsible for that, they have to answer to you. They have to be answerable that if the fact is that they don't go out and do that, you want to know why, because that's their responsibility to make that happen. And then when you make sure that they're responsible for that, your business will grow. Duties. Let's look at duties. Duties are something that one is expected or required to do by moral or legal obligation. Okay? They are morally bound because they represent your company, and these are your absolute expectations that they follow. If you don't set expectations, and I'm going to give you a prime example of this. I had a salesman once, and he was a great salesman. And I knew he was going to be a great salesman, so my leniency factor was a little bit probably greater than it should have been. Okay? Now, I expected all my salespeople every night before the night ended to either email me, text me, or call me what their numbers were for the day. I'm a numbers guy. That's how I've lived my whole life, is by numbers. Well, this guy was a good salesman, but his abilities to be responsible enough to send me that stuff was weak. So I kind of backed off my expectation from him because he was a producer. Well, what happened is because I backed off my expectations, then paperwork started being sloppy. Then next thing I know, I drive by his home at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I had a habit of doing that, checking and seeing if people were actually working. I would drive by the house at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and his car would be there. And then I'd call him on the phone, "Hey, man, where are you at?" "Oh, I'm up in such and such town." "No, you're not. You're sitting at the house. I just drove by." So you see, when I didn't set those same expectations that I gave to everybody else, and I let my guard down, I really failed him. And I failed him because he got lazy and he got complacent, and I wasn't following up like I was supposed to, and I wound up getting rid of him, you know, because he just, and it was my fault. So don't let your guard down. Let your expectations be the same for everybody. Your expectations should be that they service existing accounts, obtains orders, establishes new accounts by planning and organizing daily work schedules to call on existing or potential sales outlets and other trade factors. Let me tell you what a salesman's pure job is to do. His job is to go out and sell. It's his responsibility as a salesman to know where he's going, how he's going to get there, and what his plan is for the day. If he cannot figure out what his schedule is going to be for the next day, don't hire him. Because who's going to be doing all the work for him? Who's going to do everything for him, give him a nice fat paycheck, and all he's going to walk out and do is talk to people that you could have walked out and talked to and not paid somebody to do. So make sure that he's responsible and his duties, or making sure that he goes out and takes care of his schedule. Keeps management informed by submitting activity and results reports such as daily calls reports, weekly work plans, and monthly and annual territory analysis. And I think I spelled analysis wrong. It's IS. Let me talk about that just for a moment, okay? If you don't do anything that I'm talking about right now, and if you don't, you're going to have a tough time. If you don't do anything, you make sure that he reports to you daily what he did. If he cannot give you a report, and I'm talking about those call reports need to have names and phone numbers on them. Not I called 15 people today. Names and phone numbers. On Friday, I used to have my guys submit a work plan, what they were going to do the next week, and we would sit down and we would talk about it. Now, I'll be honest with you, I haven't really worked on a Friday in years. I'm a good 4-day work person. I don't like working on Fridays. I like a nice 3-day week, and that's when my wife and I usually do things. But we would sit down on Friday mornings, wrap up everything, and we would be off. Okay, I didn't even require them to work on Fridays. Some of them did, some of them didn't. So sit down with your people, whether it be over the phone, whether it be via a conference, a Skype call. Skype is great, but make sure that you sit down and you get your weekly work plans set up, your monthly plans set up, and analyze the territory that he's in. Monitors competition by gathering current marketplace information on pricing, products, new products, delivery schedules, merchandising techniques, etc. He needs to know, all right, Steve, take care, buddy. He needs to make sure when he's out in the marketplace, because he's on the ground, that he knows what's going on. And he needs to report that back to you. If a new app salesman comes into the territory, you need to find out what they're selling and what they're selling it for. And he needs to get together on that, and he needs to make sure that he knows what's going on. He's got to know what the competition is in his area. So you make sure without a shadow of a doubt that he understands that that's his duty to do that, okay, to get that information. So make sure that that happens without question. Because if you don't, what's going to happen is the competition is going to come in and take everything from you because your salespeople aren't doing their job. Let's talk about ads for just a moment. And that ad I just showed you would be an ad like you would place on Monster, Craigslist, jobs.com, some of your bigger places, okay? Ads that just go in a newspaper. Now, our newspaper here will actually put an ad for you in Monster.com. If you put it in their newspaper and run it during the week or weekend or whatever, they put it on Monster for you. Now, what I do is I send them a Monster ad and a newspaper ad, okay? Now, something that I have found that worked really good for me, it may not work good for you, it just always worked good for me, is I would take a website, okay, and I own a website called SalesMessage, SalesMSG.com, okay, and when I would run an ad, I would send them to SalesMessage.com. I just need a job up there because that's what was in my head at the time. But I own a website, and so what I'm able to do is I'm able to go in there and place that big display ad. So, and it saves you a ton of money. So you can get your little website set up for $15 a year if you go to HostGator, okay? And you go in there and get your website, and run your little page. You know, put your WordPress or something in there and just put the ad on there, or build your HTML page in Word and just stick it in there as the index page, and they're able to see that. They're able to see everything that we just talked about, everything I just showed you. It works really good, and it saves you a lot of money because ads are set by the number of characters. So you can see at the top there, sales reps wanted, visit http://needajob.com. All right. Now in the next ad, it says sales reps wanted, expanding Salesforce in the area, must have a strong desire for advancement. Very simple, to the point, and the phone number. Do not put an abundance amount of text in a help wanted ad in the paper, okay, in the classified section. It doesn't do you any good. You're not going to get any more calls. You're not going to get any less calls. Okay? It just doesn't do you any good. That tells you right there, don't put what it's for. Don't put what they need to know. You give them enough information to let them know. I mean, you can look at this right here. It says sales reps wanted. And they're going to ask you, the first thing they're going to ask you is, what is it? You know, we're in the mobile marketing business. Okay, cool. Or I'm not interested in that, and you don't even have to talk to them. So what you need to do is make sure that you get your ads set up and get them put out there. And this is just 2 ideas right here. You can do it however you want to. You can get with your newspaper. The reason I went with the top one is because my girl at the newspaper actually told me, she said, Kerry, she said, I know you do a lot of internet marketing. She said, if you could put that display ad on there and just run your website, she said a ton of people will go to it and you'll have great success. And I did. Okay, so it worked out very, very well. Where to run your ads? Craigslist. I've hired a ton of people off of Craigslist, and I have people tell me all the time, I don't get any hits off of Craigslist. Make sure you put them in the sales rep section. Make sure that you put them in the area you're looking to hire sales reps. Monster.com, you will get a ton of leads off of that. Jobs.com, the same thing. And of course, you want to run them in your local newspapers in the areas that you're going to recruit from. Now, you may want to recruit out of your state. Just run them in the local towns in the areas you want to go to. Let's talk about the interview process. And this is my hardest. And you guys have heard me say many times, don't even come in my office. My initial interview is on the phone. Now, I put /webinar up there because this is what I'm fixing to do, okay? I've got some ads that are set up to go out, and I've got some ads running now, and I've already got a ton of phone interviews. That's why I've been on the phone all day. I've got a ton of phone interviews done and marked down and knock off. I'll also have them email me a resume so that I have their information when I talk to them on the phone. That's my initial interview. Remember this, if they cannot talk to you on the phone, they cannot talk to your customers on the phone. That's very, very important. Even if you have to sit down and write out your own phone script, because a lot of people aren't comfortable talking to people. Write yourself out a phone script. These are the questions I want to answer. This is the information I want to give out. I don't give out all the information on the phone. We don't even talk compensation on the phone. If they're that interested in how much money they're going to make, that's all they're interested in. They're not interested in anything else. I want somebody to make a lot of money, but I'm not going to sit there and spend 30 minutes explaining the compensation on the phone. I'm going to spend about 15, 20 minutes with them on the phone, and I'm going to see if they can actually talk, and if they can communicate, and if they've got a sense of humor, and we can banter back and forth. My second interview is face-to-face. Okay, face-to-face. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an initial phone, then I'm going to do an actual webinar where everybody that comes on the phone, I'm going to invite them to a webinar. Then I'm going to show them everything, including the compensation package. And then all those that are interested, then there'll be the third face-to-face. Okay, that's the way I'm going to do it. It's a good way to reach out and touch a lot of people. This has been the biggest question I've had all week. Kerry, how do we compensate these people? It's $1 million question. It's, excuse me, I'm going to grab a drink of water. There's a million ways to do it. I've never, as a salesman, taken a salary. I don't even like talking to salespeople who the first thing out of their mouth is they've got to have a salary. Because if they have to have a salary, they're probably not a very good salesman. That's a tip that you need to put in the back of your mind. If the first thing they say is, well, I've got to have a salary, the reason salespeople have to have a salary is because they've never been successful in sales. And then all you're going to have is somebody that's collecting a paycheck, okay? And now, one thing you may do is have a draw against their commissions. And don't make it a lot. I'm telling you. I used to do a $1,500 draw. And then the guys would take their first $1,500 draw, and I'd never see them again. So guess what Kerry didn't do anymore? I didn't give them a draw. You know, go out and work, go out and sell, and I'll write you a big fat paycheck. I had some salesmen who were making 10 grand a week. So, you know, it can be done. So don't give a big draw, maybe $100, $150 to pay for their gas. All right. True salesmen don't need money. They make their own paycheck. True salesmen. You may do a salary plus a commission. Okay. If you and the reason you do that is you control how much money they can make. Now, me personally, I want the salesman to make as much money as they possibly can. Because the more money a salesman makes off a commission, that means you're making that much. All right? So I'm a straight commission guy. If you want to work for me, you're going to take commission. If you don't want to take commission, then you're not going to work for me. And the reason you're not going to work for me is because I'm not going to call you every day and tell you to get out of your bed and go to work. I want you to be hungry and know that you got to feed your kids at the end of the week, just like you would if you go to any other job, and make sure that you go to work. And the only way to do that is make them independent. So all of my salespeople are 1099 independent sales reps. All of them, okay? They're responsible for their own payroll taxes. They're responsible for all that. If they give me $1,000 a week and their commission is 50%, then I write them a check at the end of the week for $500. It goes to my accountant. This guy made $70,000 this year. He's going to have to pay his taxes on $70,000. All right? So, and if you get a bunch of 1099 people, make sure you get with your accountant and get the proper documentation. Extremely, extremely important. Let's talk about texting charges in the compensation program. Now, I've been preaching texting for, gosh, man, how long now, guys? About 5 weeks, maybe. You don't realize how much money you can make on texting. You just, and the reason I say that is because everybody's afraid to sell texting. You don't realize how fast those pennies will add up. So what you need to do is on the texting, and this is what I'm just going to tell you what I'm going to do. If I'm paying 3 cents for texting, it's going to cost them 5 cents. So I automatically know, okay, my sales reps, that I'm going to make 2 cents. If I put it on a commission basis of 50-50, okay, and it's costing me 3 cents, and if he goes out and sells one of them, and then I'm going to split a penny and a half. Well, guess what? I just lost a penny and a half. So what I'm doing is, if it's 3 cents, I'm adding 2 cents to everything I did. So when they go out and sell texting, it's automatically going to cost them 5 cents. I'm going to get my 2 cents, and then they can go out and whatever they want to sell it for, and I don't care what they sell it for. They can sell it for, there's some programs online that you find, texting is 10 cents a text. I mean, that's so commonplace anymore because texting is so hot. I'm going to make my 2 cents on every text message, and that's what I want. Okay, they can go out and make whatever they want, and they understand that. But make sure on your texting compensation that you set it up to where if you want 2 cents, 3 cents, now don't go crazy on it because they're not going to be able to make money. I want 2 cents a message. So if I'm on the 500 package, then yeah, wireless carriers charge up to 15 cents for texting. So that tells you right there, that's exactly right, Spence. You preach it, brother. That's exactly right. And you know what? People text all day long for 15 cents a text message and don't think nothing about it and pay it on their bill. So when you set up your texting charges, make sure that you sit down, and I brought that up for a very specific reason because I don't want you losing money on texting. Put your profit on top first, and then you give them a range to sell it from, 7, 8, 9, 10 cents, and you give them the profit off of whatever that. So if you're selling it to him for 5 cents, everything over that is his. And that gives them some incentive to sell texting. And actually that should be his duty and his responsibility to go out and sell texting. Commission, straight commission. I'm building a Salesforce looking for a sales manager, okay? My salespeople start off, straight commission at 40%. Plus, I give them the entire setup fee. Did everybody just drop their teeth when I said that? Okay, 40% and the entire setup fee. Now, why am I going to give them the entire setup fee? Somebody tell me why I'm doing that. Everybody's thinking about it. Tom says, why would you do such a thing? That's exactly right. Thank you, Michael Ross. Sorry about that, Michael R. Okay, so that they can make money quickly. Duke says because I'm nuts. I want them making a paycheck immediately. Why do I want to? Because they're on commission. That's right, Tom. They need to eat. Teresa says motivation. Ray says because I'm crazy. Duke says because I'm nuts. Okay? So I'm going to tell you why not 50%. So I'm going to give my salesman all of the front end up front. It's theirs. All right? Because I don't need it. I mean, I would like to have it, but there's no use in me splitting that. That's their money. It's quick. I'm doing it at 40% because I don't want them to go above 55%. Now, that's my percentages. You guys can sit down and make your own percentages, okay? Now I've got room. As they grow and go, they can look forward to a raise, okay? And as they get things going, and they say like hit 50 apps, okay? When you go out and sell 50 apps, I'm going to move you to 45%. When you sell 100 apps, I'm going to move you, and I'm going to cap you at 55%, okay? So I like that, MR. Michael R. Rich salesmen make happy salesmen that will stay on board much longer, continually builds consistency with the customer, which leads to longer lasting customers. Absolutely. Okay? The more money they make, the more money we will make. Absolutely, Anthony. And I love you too, buddy. So that's my compensation plan. I spoke to a guy that's right there at the 35% mark, but he's got the same mindset that I've got. He's just worked his percentages just a little bit different. I mentioned ROI on a webinar several months ago, and I got the ugliest email I've ever received that said I was an absolute idiot talking about having an ROI in a business. And it blew my mind when I read it, and of course I replied very nicely, and I said, thank you for the email. I appreciate you coming to the training and for your feedback. Guys, I don't care if you're selling toilet paper. You got to know what your return on investment is. If you've got a salesman in your stable, you have to know what your return on investment is because you still got money going out, okay? And we talked about that last week. So whether people believe it or not, you have to know what your ROI is for your business or you go broke. But so 40%, all of the setup up front. Because this is what happens. You know what you've just encouraged him to do? To collect a setup fee on every single app. Every single app. So he could literally go out and sell 5 a week and make $1,000 just on the app, and then another 40, another $200 a week on the 40 split. So he's just made $1,200 a week. Now, what's going to happen next month when the residuals come in? So next thing you know, this guy's making 10 grand a week. Quickly. Okay? Very quickly. So, but don't forget this right here. This is very important. Texting charges, I can't embellish on this enough. Do not split this the same way you split the commissions. Do not. Put your money on top, then let him sell it and make his commission. Does everybody understand what I'm saying right there? I just want to make sure, because if not, you're going to lose some money, and I don't want you losing any money. So just say yes real quick if you understand that. I just want to make sure. Rogelio, what's up, my friend? Okay, good. That's very important. Now, this is something I've been talking about for a long time, okay? HAP Packages. When you set up your sales reps, and I know what you do when you go out there without question. You just throw out the entire package to them. You give them everything for the same $90. Okay? Don't do that when you bring on these sales reps. You need to sit down tonight when you get off of this call. The first thing you need to do is you need to sit down and you say, okay, what are my packages truly going to be? Now, you can put 3 of the packages on your branded site if you've got it. But sit down and break out your computer and sit there and work out your packages. All right? Taking account of how much you're going to pay him, what the setup fee is going to be, the whole 9 yards. If you're just going to sell an app, okay, just an app, you got to know where that's at. You've got to know how much that's going to be. You've got to know how much work's going to go into that app. Now, if you're just going to go out there and sell an app that's got an About Us page, a directions page, and a, what else? Information, where they can get information from them, a sign-up page so you can market to them. You got to know what you're going to give them. Because if you go out and sell that app for $59, okay, or $69, just the app, okay, nothing else, just a bare bones app, you got to know how much time it's going to take you to do that. You have to know that. I just did a restaurant app, and I'm getting $400 a month for it because it is a full-blown, I've never done so much work on anything in my life, okay? Yeah, charge it for hosting. That's what I'm talking about right there, Spence. You set it up, okay? I'm going to charge you $69 for the app, and I'm going to charge you $20, so it's going to be $89 a month. You set the package down so you can break it out for them, okay? You can call it whatever you want. At the end of the day, it's $100 for the app. Reputation management. I don't know if you realize how hot, and we've been saying this for a year, how hot rep management is, but rep management's hot, okay? Rep management also does another thing for you, is it forces the texting issue. People want to know about reputation management. We've got a very, very, very good reputation management program that's built into the system because it alerts the client when somebody posts something bad. Okay? It's just one of those things that they've got to know. And so if you go out and sell it correctly, so you want to do app with reputation management, app with marketing plan. And these are just ideas that I just drove off. Okay? You want to charge for the marketing platform. Why would you not charge for that marketing platform? I mean, that is a huge benefit for them. Charge for it. Sell it as a benefit, not as an add-on. It's a benefit. All right? Social media. And let me just go over here real quick. A page like this, okay, to set up, if you went to Fiverr, and I know this because I just went to Fiverr, if they do the graphics and everything for you, is about $40. Okay? It's $5 for just setting up the page, then another $10 for doing the graphics, and another $10 for doing something else. But it was about $40. All right? If you go to Fiverr to do it, okay? You can do these all day long. All you have to do is get their graphics and make the graphic that goes here, makes the graphic that goes here. Okay, and if you want to shoot some graphics to go in here, but really this is all you need. You can put some stuff here if you want. You can charge anywhere from $75 to $100 to do that. And then a maintenance fee. And now you want to teach them how to do it also to make sure that they understand how to use this. Okay? So there's going to be some training involved. So you could easily get $100 to $150 to do this. And it takes you 10 minutes. Literally. I mean, I create fan pages every day. It takes literally, the longest thing for me is dragging the graphics in and making my graphics. You know, cutting them up and doing what I want to with it. So put this in your packages and make sure your salespeople sell this. It's extremely important because that's how you're going to make your money. You literally could take a customer and this is what the app is good for, just the app, just the bare bones app. The app is great for setting a base and then coming in with your back sales, okay? In the internet industry, it's called your one-time offers, all right, in the marketing industry. So you come in and you build up those back sales, all right? You could go in and you could start off with, hey, I see your Facebook page is crappy, or I wouldn't tell them that, but I would think of some nice way to tell them that it was crappy. But you could go in and start off with a Facebook, then work them into an app, then work them into reputation management, work them into the marketing platform, work them into texting, and now you've taken a $125, $150 product in a Facebook page that took you 10 minutes, and now you've put them into about a $300 or $400 a month package. And if it's working for them, and that's the key here, okay, understand what I'm saying. If it's working for them, they don't mind paying $400. If their ROI is 30 or 40% on a $400 a month package, you know, they're not going to complain about spending $400. Trust me. That's just business. And businesses understand that. They're already paying much more than that. That's not getting them any grant. You know, nobody coming in, they're just throwing money out the door. So if you really go in and market this thing correctly and drive business for them, they're going to love you and they'll pay you whatever you want. Anything you want. You go in there and say, hey, this reputation management program is $350 a month. We're going to write the check. Period. Okay? So I just wanted to show you that just simply because you need to be building these. You need to get their likes up to 902 likes. You need people coming in here and you need to show them how to do that. And literally this right here, this simple page that you could create in 10 minutes, you could go out and sell for $150, hands down. Make them a couple of window cleans with that. Okay, I'm going to build that in 2 window cleans. You can print those window cleans for about $3. Okay, and you profited what? $130 by the time it takes you with your time.
Hello.
Right? Does that make sense to everybody? What I'm saying with that? These upsells.
Hello. Are you okay?
Okay, everybody's screaming yeah, so that's great.
Okay.
So let's go back over here.
Okay.
I know it's getting a little bit late. I apologize. Okay. I've covered just about everything I want to cover tonight. I don't want to throw too much at one time, and I want to give you a base to start working from. I want to give you a base to start building your business, get your sales reps in, start building up and making this thing work for you. Let's go to a Q&A time here. I appreciate you guys so much for holding your questions to the end here. Yes, Barbara, you sure did. That's right. That's a good point, Robert. Robert says it's your business. Charge them what you want. I just gave you a baseline. It's what it's what I do. Every area is different. You bet. Did you send it to Carrie@InstantAppWizard.com, Mike? Could you do me a favor? I get about 300 emails a day. Could you resend it? Did you just send it now? If you did, great. If not, if you could just resend it, I'll make a note of it as soon as I get off the call. What's the best time to get in touch with someone down there? Have a few questions before I sign up. Robert, when's a good time for Tom to get with you, buddy? Robert's on the call with me. That's who you'll talk to. And do you see Tom's message there? If you could just reply to him. Okay, that'll work, Mike. I think he's available from 8 till whatever. Any other questions about tonight's training? Anybody? Okay, thank you, Michael. And that's 9 a.m. Eastern time. Those guys are on the West Coast. I'm sorry, East Coast. I'm in Central Time Zone. No questions? Well, I hope I gave you guys a baseline tonight. You bet, Kiro. Kiro. New to business, just joined today. Wondering if you could spare some time over the weekend so we can chat to Carrie. I'll tell you what, Mark. Send me an email at Carrie@InstantAppWizard.com with your phone number, and I'll chat with you, buddy. Just Barbara, if you would just go into Robert, do you see Barbara's comments there? Anthony, if you'll go into the control panel, go into training videos. There's some videos in there that show you how to set up a demo app. Hey, yeah, good night, Michael R. It's good to see you, buddy. Thank you. Thank you for your great ideas, man. Thank you, Teresa. That's right, man. You're exactly right, Mike. Okay, guys. Don't you think there should be a reasonable cap on text so customer doesn't feel... Tom, I'm going to tell you, there is no cap on texting right now. Matter of fact, somebody posted a while ago, people are paying 15 cents just to the carrier. And people, trust me, people text. And people are not all on the all-inclusive plan for $130 a month. They pay for their texting, and they're paying 15 cents a text message. Okay? That's outgoing and incoming. 15 cents to text all day long. And trust me, when you see all these people texting all day and all night long, most of them are not on a texting program. So, me, I want to make 2 cents a text. Okay? And so, but 8 to 10 cents is nothing. That's nothing. Thank you, Rex. Hey, Robert, do you see Anthony's message there?
I'm looking.
Good night, Teresa. It's great to see you. Good to have you with us tonight. Any more questions? We've still got a ton of people on. I want to make sure before we sign out, I never want to sign out without getting all the questions in. I know I have a bad habit of doing that. Okay, if there's nothing else, as I always say in closing, or as Zig always says, always ask for the order, AAFTO. And the hardest door to open is the car door. So make sure you get out there and get busy. Somebody texted me last week, said, hey man, we opened the car door and things are rolling. So, but God bless each and every one of you. Thank you for coming out tonight. Once again, we had a wonderful crowd. I appreciate all the input, and we're just going to continue to grow together. Good night, Robert. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Rogelio. Anthony, just give Roger a call tomorrow, and he can fix you up on that, I'm sure. Or email me at Carrie@InstantAppWizard.com. You guys too. God bless. I'm going to shut her down, and everybody have a great evening.